Unit 5, Lesson 11, operating a vehicle. So there are three major things to consider when calculating the operating costs for a vehicle. One major one, especially for young people, is insurance costs. So insurance can be paid monthly, every 6 months, or once a year for the most part. Those are your options for paying insurance. It's used to cover expenses in the event of an accident. So you can fix your vehicle, or you can pay to have somebody else's vehicle fixed if you are responsible for the accident. The cost of insurance depends on your age, your gender, and your driving record. So that's insurance costs. Secondly, you've got your fuel cost. And fuel, the cost of fuel depends on how far you're driving on a regular basis and the fuel efficiency of your vehicle. So your distance and your fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency is stated in liters required to drive 100 kilometers, and you'll see them on new vehicles. The lower the number, the more fuel efficient the vehicle, which means it'll be cheaper to run. So to figure out your liters per 100 kilometers, you can take the number of liters you put in your gas tank and divide it by the kilometers driven and times it by 100. And that'll give you your liters per 100 kilometers. So the way you keep track of your fuel costs is to reset your trip odometer every time you fill up your gas tank. You can track your receipts, your gas receipts. You can buy gas with a credit card so you can easily see how much you're spending. And you keep track of your total kilometers that you can drive on one tank of gas. And you can figure out how much fuel you've used. Thirdly is the maintenance of the vehicle. So cost to maintain and repair your vehicle in order to keep it in good working order. Maintenance cost depends on the distance you drive it, the make of the car, and the age of the car. To calculate the average monthly maintenance cost, add up the cost of the maintenance and repairs for a year and divide it by 12. So if you know how much you've spent for the year looking after your car, divide it by 12 and you'll know how much per month it is. The big three for maintenance are oil change, tires, and brakes. And oil change you're going to want to do on a regular basis, and it will cost, depending on whether you can do it yourself or you have to pay somebody to do it. Usually the newer vehicles, you can go 6,000 to 8,000 kilometers. Most of them will tell you when they're ready for an oil change. Tires should be rotated on your vehicle, so you have to pay somebody to do that, or if you have the skills to do it yourself. And new every 80 to 100,000 kilometers. Brakes. New brake pads every 50 to 80,000. You'll be able to hear your brake pads for sure when they need to be replaced. Again, the cost will depend on whether you're able to do that yourself or whether you will need to pay somebody to do it. But those are your three big expenses. Another cost of owning a vehicle is just depreciation. This is the amount of money that the car loses in value each year you own it. So as it gets older, it's worth less. To calculate depreciation, we simply look at the average drop in the value of the vehicle for each year. It's usually stated as a percent. So if I know a new car is $35,000 when it was purchased, and it's now worth $27,500 after 1 year, what is the depreciation on the vehicle? So the depreciation is the dollar figure it has lost. So I started out at $35,000. Now it's worth $27,500. The difference between those two numbers is $7,500. So the depreciation is $7,500. What percent of the original value does this represent? So the percent, it depreciates $7,500 out of the original value of $35,000. And to change it to a percent, I'm going to multiply it by 100. And so when I do that calculation, I get about 21.4 percent depreciation annually. So in my second year of owning that car, it would be 27,500 minus about 20%, or 21.4%. It's going to give me about $22,000 it's worth. If you think about the interest calculations that we've been doing, the value of the car that we started with was $35,000, and we're losing about 20% a year, so 0.214 to the exponent n, and you would be able to calculate the exact value of the car. Okay, so once you calculate that answer, then you can go to page 493 and try those questions.